I'm not a part of the 97 percentile club, not even close. Yet, I'm here sitting in IIM Indore despite having a gap year. Hi, my name is Ananya Sawant and today I'm going to talk about my CAT journey. I am an engineering graduate from Mumbai University and my profile is 988. I am a fresher and I cleared CAT in the first attempt itself. My point being that yes, even if you have a low score, there are still decent chances of you cracking the interview. Like there is a reason you are shortlisted. During my preparation, I always wondered if people with relatively lower percentiles get into top B schools. Because I always ended up watching videos of people with 99 plus percentiles and I wanted to know more about realistic experiences of these MBA aspirants, which is why I'm here to talk about my journey where I had a relatively lower percentile, I had a gap year, but I cleared CAT in the first attempt itself without any coaching, and not to mention that I'm in the general category. So I completed my graduation in June 2021, post which I started my preparation for CAT and I allotted my entire time to CAT. In the initial days, I gave a few mocks to know where I stood, what my strengths were, what my weaknesses were, and post that I started brushing up my basics. I would allot the first half of the day entirely to quants, where I would go through the basics and then I would move to the deeper concepts. After that, I would give certain sectional tests like topic wise. In the second half of the day, I would devote my time to VARC and DILR. In VARC, I would read lots of editorials from The Hindu. There were online resources for such articles. For DILR, I would give lots of sectional tests. I would analyze these sectional tests and note down certain similar sums or DILR sets which were very repetitive, and I would note them down. I had not applied for any kind of coaching classes, but I had applied for the time test series, and once I was confident about my basics, I started giving weekly mocks and my scores fluctuated a lot. My strongest sections were quants and VARC, but DILR scores were very unpredictable for me, and there were times when I even got a 30 percentile in my mocks, but it is very essential to stay consistent and not give up. After every bad day, I would sit down, I would analyze my tests, I would analyze where I was going wrong, but again after every milestone also, I would reward myself. That is how I kept going. And in the last 2 months of my preparation, I increased the frequency of my mocks. I started revising more. But again, this is very relative and what works for me might not work for you. So try to know yourself, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and come up with your own strategies. In the end, D-Day is what matters the most, and I think that's exactly where I messed up because I was under a lot of pressure. I felt that it was my first and last attempt at CAT, and this kind of stressed me out a little because I did not have any backup option. The stress kind of caught up to me during the exam, and I felt that I had got the toughest VARC section, which demotivated me in my DILR section. My point being is that do not let your other sections affect the rest of the CAT, right? So my key learnings from my entire CAT journey were to fall in love with all the sections and try to solve it for fun rather than to consider it as studying. The other learnings were that obviously try to stay calm and do not come under any kind of pressure. Finally, do not give up till the very end. Do not lose hope because you never know how things might turn out for you. So after my CAT result, I thought I wouldn't receive any shortlist, but I ended up receiving shortlist from premier institutes like SPJIMR, MDI Gurgaon, IIM Indore, SGSOM and all the baby and new IIMs. So basically, you do have chances of receiving shortlists from the top B schools if you have a good profile and good academic. And in IIM Indore, I knew that it gave the highest weightage to the interviews. So I knew that I had one chance and I had to crack it, and that's what I did. During my gap year, I did 2 internships and one of them was as a management trainee. I always had an inclination towards marketing and I knew I wanted a little experience in that domain, which is why I did that internship. I also did some virtual courses in different kinds of domains like finance, consulting to get myself familiar with the basics of all. So during your gap year, like if you have one, just in case, try to upskill yourself and be more productive. I have been through it all, being confused in my final year, to having a gap year, to scoring a low percentile even after giving my 110% to my attempt and preparation, and to making it to a top B school. So trust me when I say that I know what you are going through, but do not give up till the very end and trust yourself.